5 research-backed studying techniques. Too often people imagine that long hours of studying are the best path to being a model. Yet research shows that highly successful students actually spend less time studying than their peers do. They just study more effectively. Teachers can help all students learn to more effectively use the time they spend studying by sharing research-proven techniques. Highly successful students have generally learned to avoid multitasking. Instead of spending a lot of time doing low-intensity work with numerous distractions, these students work for shorter periods at higher intensity, without any distractions from email, social media, etc. Their studying is more effective and leads to greater achievement gains. Researchers have found that the following techniques increase sustainable learning and retention when incorporated in students' daily study habits. These techniques are difficult and require effort, and they slow down learning. Initially, the learning gains seem to be smaller than with some ineffective practices. However, these techniques lead to long-term mastery. Pre-test, when students practice answering questions, even incorrectly, before learning the content, their future learning is enhanced. Research has shown that pre-testing improves post-test results more than spending the same amount of time studying. Spaced practice. Spacing out study sessions focusing on a topic for a short period on different days has been shown to improve retention and recall more than massed practice. The book How We Learn explains that spaced practice can feel difficult due to an initial forgetting of knowledge. Reacquiring that knowledge takes effort. Creating flashcards that can be used for spaced practice and self-quizzing is effective. Students should create different piles when reviewing the flashcards. The cards they're able to answer immediately should be placed in a pile to review 3 days later. Those answered with some difficulty should be reviewed 2 days later. And those that they answered incorrectly should be reviewed the next day. Self-quizzing. Testing has a negative connotation in this era of standardized testing, but it is a form of active retrieval practice. Encourage students to make test questions for themselves as they learn a new concept. Thinking about the types of questions you might ask on a quiz or test. They should incorporate these quizzes into their study sessions. Answering every question, even those they believe they know well. Interleaving practice. Students may rely on blocked practice, studying a set of problems such as multiplication problems, as a group until they feel mastery. A more effective method of studying is to work on a set of problems that are related but not all of the same kind. For example, a set of math word problems that call for addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. The consecutive problems cannot be solved with the same strategy. This is more effective than doing one multiplication problem after another. Paraphrasing and reflecting. Many of us have read a few paragraphs in a textbook only to realize that we didn't retain a single concept or key point presented in those paragraphs. To show your students how to combat this, have them utilize intentional learning strategies. These include relating what is being learned to prior knowledge, thinking about how they would explain the content to a 5-year-old, and reflecting on and asking questions about the content.